What's up, what's up? So if it looks like I have been sweating or doing a lot of things, it's because I was. When I get in the mood to rearrange my apartment, it is like things. I'm going to my mom's to get her random stuff, and my apartment was flipped upside down, and then I'm like, oh, it's 5 o'clock. It's time to pull myself together. So, it was one of those days where I was all over the place. So, welcome. I am super pumped y'all are here for my workshop. Now, I call it a workshop because I just want it to differ from a live where I'm just talking. I call it a workshop because you are implementing something new. You are taking something and implementing something new. So it's a little bit of work, not too much work, but a little bit of work. So I want to be able to see, yes, the live in case there are any questions. Maybe I will turn you sideways. No, I'll keep you there, okay? So, all that to say, we are going to get right into this. I'm very focused now. We are going to get rocking and rolling. If you're here for the live, tell me if you're here live. If you're here for the replay, say replay in the comments, please. And if you have any, pointers or questions or things that have worked for you, please drop them in the comments. I love all of that. The more comments, the better. So this question, I'm going to be reading off my computer, by the way, but this question was inspired by a poll that I took. So I had asked what current fitness goals or what were your current fitness struggles? And someone said literally getting up in the morning to work out. So literally getting up in the morning has been a struggle for them. Can anyone relate? So I can actually relate to this. My normal time for getting up was 7:15, 7 o'clock. It wasn't happening, so I'm going to get to that. But so I was thinking how important it was to have non-negotiables and have things that you did every day and yada yada. And I'm like, what do I feel like this person needs to know? And it is so important to have morning routines, like a morning wake up routine and a night routine, because that literally would get you ready for the next day. So if you're waking up exhausted and not ready for the day, it's because of the night before. It's not because of the morning. So that triggered that, and I was like, I feel like I'm really good at setting boundaries for myself and implementing morning and night routines. I have done a morning routine probably going on, 8 or 10 years. Yikes. 8 or 10 years I've been implementing a morning routine where I get up and read or walk or different things like that. I have been implementing that for a long time. So I feel pretty good at it. A night routine is actually pretty new for me. But I found that I needed to be implementing boundaries and things to wind me down, or I needed cutoffs from work because I could just be answering texts or whatever all night. So now I stop answering text messages at a certain time. I don't go on social media after a certain time, but we'll get to that. So there are a few basic things that we're going to go over. This is not you have to do this or you can't do this. You need to find what works for you. I'm big into that. So, something you could do is have columns of night and morning routines. So, backtrack. First thing I will ask is, if you don't have pen and paper, I highly suggest you pull it out. But what is your ideal morning and what is your ideal night? Not what worked for her, not what worked for him. What is your ideal morning? For me, I love to get up and have my coffee, walk down to the water, and usually with my husband. And I love to start the morning that way. we've done that like twice in our marriage. So that's not always going to happen. It's actually something that I'm trying to implement once a week with him. But anyway, what is your ideal morning? What is your ideal night? Oh, I could go on and on about things like at night. I love to like watch a movie or take a bath. I always like the idea of taking a bath, but then actually taking a bath, I'm sometimes like, this is like a lot of work and whatever. Maybe one day I'll have a masseuse come to my house. That'd be nice. But something you could do is have a column of night and morning, and then think like, do you want your spouse there? Do you want your kids there? Do you want to read or write? Do you want to watch a movie or listen to music? Draw. There was one girl I heard, she's like, I love to sketch. And I'm like, I'm not a sketcher, but if I was, I think that would be cool. She like does that at night and like listens to music. You could journal or meditate. I have a friend who like does like a stretch routine at night. I'm like, that sounds so nice. I don't do that. You could take a bath or listen to a podcast. So maybe you've never done any of these. Maybe you don't even have a morning routine. Maybe you don't even have a night routine. Something that is so good to just think about is what is your ideal. And then, I would honestly create columns and what is realistic. So it doesn't matter if like that sounds nice, if it's not realistic for you. Like for me to get up and walk to the water every morning, I'm sure it'd be nice when I'm doing it, but it's just not happening every day. Sometimes like this morning, I woke up 20 minutes before I had a client. So I still did certain things that I always do, but it was like, here we go. Now you can also put this on a piece of paper. You don't actually have to put it on a piece of paper. I had a Google Doc. I didn't even write it on a piece of paper, to be honest. But I did write down things that calm me down or things that wind me down and things that energize me. So for me, taking a bath does not energize me. So I would not get up and take a bath in the morning. I would take that at night because it calms me. There is this one band, Shane and Shane, that I listen to, and I like to listen to them at night and in the morning because they're very peaceful. So sometimes it like enters me into the day. Sometimes it closes me out of the day. Journaling energizes me. I like to journal about gratitudes or things like that. I can't journal at night. Girl's gonna pass out. So not happening. So I felt what would be most helpful is, what is my current routine? So my current routine is around, I'm going to read this because I don't even have it memorized, around 6:30, which is not true for today, but the end of the workday, I plan my next day. Always. Not always. I'm trying to get better at that because I don't like the night before being like, okay, let me just make sure I have this and this done. So I try and plan my next day once I end my workday. Make sure all the times are correct, yada yada. I put everything in my schedule. And then 8:30, phone is done. So usually my husband is home already or getting home soon. So I try to not have to be on my phone when he gets home. So sometimes it's a little earlier and I do my best. But then around 9 o'clock, I will read my book or do my devotions with my husband, or we'll watch a show, or I'll watch a show. Sometimes we'll walk. So that's around 9 o'clock, 10:30, sometimes 10:30, 11, depending on honestly when he gets home. We pray together. I always say 3 things I'm grateful for. Bed. So our sweet spot is 10:30. It doesn't always happen. Usually it's 10:30, 11, but we've actually gotten much better at that. He sometimes doesn't get home till 9:30, so he needs to take his time to unwind. Then 7:30, lately it's been 7:30, I am up, and sometimes I will play my Shane and Shane, and like I said, I sometimes play their music at night. My husband makes me breakfast and coffee every single morning. I'll let that mic drop for a second. My husband has made me breakfast and coffee right in the beginning of quarantine, so it's been over a year. He started that and just never stopped. It's amazing. But before that, I always had something prepped. I never made breakfast in the morning. So I will sometimes listen to music and eat my breakfast. This morning, I didn't have time to eat music. This morning, I didn't have time to listen to music. I was reading and eating my breakfast at the same time because I had 20 minutes. But I will usually enter my day peacefully. And by 7:30, 7:45, I'm reading my devotions and my devotions. And if you don't, like, I read the Bible too. If you don't do that, you can read any book that is more of like a self-help book. Let me see. There was a book that I was reading that I really liked, and I can't. Oh, like Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits is a perfect book to read like in the morning, because it's just like self-help things. So any type of book like that is helpful. And then I usually at night I'll do my like lighter reads. And then 8 o'clock I'm journaling, usually. 8:15, 8:20, I meditate for 5 minutes. Literally, I meditate for 5 minutes. So I sit there, think about the things that I've read, think about the day, maybe speak some truths over myself on to the day. So 8:20, I'm getting ready to either work out or train a client. So all that to say, I'm telling you these things to do what serves you. So back a few months ago, I was forcing myself to get up at 7 o'clock. And lately, 7:30, 7:45, I'm like, I can't get up. And so I've been letting myself sleep till 7:30, 7:45 because it just wasn't serving me to try and force myself to get up. So I was doing a devotions for a time, and then I was like, you know what, I want to take a break. And like, there was a time I was listening to a podcast in the morning rather than reading, so I would listen to a podcast. There are some mornings that I'll go walk. Like, I'll do what feels like beneficial for me that day, but I will always do some form of reading and just sitting in peace and sitting in quiet before I'm like on to the day. I used to also like have some of my quiet time and then hop on Instagram and do like a bunch of like messaging and stuff like that. I don't do that anymore because I just like wanted my morning, and I'm like, I can get to that later. I feel like I'm on my phone all day long because of my job, so I don't have to do that. So I was like forcing myself to do those things. I don't have to. So do what feels good. It is also really important you can take time in the morning to like, actually, no, I do it the night before. You take time to set your goals for the next day. So if you're looking to exercise the next day, put it in. Like, that's what I would do the night before. Don't do that in the morning because then you either don't feel like it or you like talk yourself out of it. It's not in your routine. So it's like, bye-bye. I highly suggest to like do that the night before and not the morning of. So I actually have a little checklist I'm going to drop in the comments. Let's see if I can actually do that. That did not work. Okay. You can print this out. Let's see if this... Actually, I'm just going to have to send it after because this is being weird. I'm going to send you a Google Doc, but it's a little document on, it's a little document just on, yikes guys, don't do 5 things at once. Just something to help you do, like check things off your list and bing, bang, boom with that. So I find it really helpful just to, it'll give you different ideas and just like help you establish some sort of like routine. And so I would really encourage you guys to reevaluate it and do what feels good. Do what, you're excited to do. If you need to sleep a little longer, okay, but at some point, like, is this serving you or is it causing you to not like succeed in your goals or not implement your goals and things like that? It is so important to make sure you are prioritizing things and aligning yourself with your goals. So, like I said, reevaluate every 2 to 3 months. Things that served you at one time may not serve you now. So I really hope this was helpful. Definitely drop anything that resonated with you or something that you implement that you really like, something that you want to try. So drop in the comments either something that you do that you really like or something that you're going to start implementing. And like I said, I hope this was helpful. I love doing these things, so always let me know if you have questions or things that you just want me to talk about, because I love it. But have a great night, an awesome, fabulous rest of your